Most people over 65 are still carrying pressures that quietly drain them every day. Pressures they picked up decades ago and never questioned. Here's the uncomfortable question that almost no one asks out loud. What if the things you're still worrying about after 70 are no longer protecting you, but actively shortening your joy, your energy, and even your health? That's the mystery, because when researchers look at happiness, stress, and longevity after 70, they keep seeing the same strange pattern. The people who report the highest life satisfaction are not the ones doing more. They're the ones who have let go of very specific things. But no one tells you what those things are until it's almost too late. The early clues are subtle. Sleepless nights over issues that never get resolved. Tension before family gatherings. Anxiety about staying relevant. Fear of slowing down. Each one feels reasonable on its own. Together, they quietly reshape the nervous system. To understand why letting go after 70 matters so much, we have to go back to where these pressures began. In early adulthood, most people learn that effort equals survival. You work harder to earn respect. You're worrying to stay safe. You compare to stay motivated. Psychologists in the mid-20th century, including early stress researchers like Hans Selye, showed that short-term stress can be useful. It sharpens focus. It builds momentum. This is the origin of the issue. In your 20s and 30s, worrying about opinions, money, status, and productivity actually produces results. The body can recover. The nervous system resets. Stress hormones rise and fall efficiently, but those habits don't disappear on their own. The changes start quietly in the 40s. Cortisol levels stay elevated longer. Recovery slows. According to American health surveys, adults in midlife report feeling wired but tired more often. The brain becomes more sensitive to perceived threats, including social judgment and uncertainty. This is when many people double down instead of adjusting. They try to control more, please more, stay busy, stay useful. It still works, but with a cost. Now comes the shift after 70 that most people ignore. After 70, the body processes stress differently. The National Institute on Aging reports that older adults show longer stress recovery times and greater inflammation responses to emotional strain. What once motivated now exhausts. What once protected now weakens. This is where the breaking point begins to show. The first thing that stops mattering, even though people cling to it, is other people's approval. Studies on aging and emotional regulation show that after 70, social evaluation stress has a stronger impact on blood pressure and sleep quality than physical exertion. Yet many seniors still rehearse conversations in their heads, worrying about being judged, and try to explain themselves. The cause is learned early. Approval once meant safety. After 70, it often means tension. The second thing that no longer matters is staying constantly busy. Busyness was once linked to purpose, but research from the American Time Use Survey shows that older adults who overschedule themselves report higher fatigue and lower life satisfaction. Purpose doesn't come from doing more. It comes from choosing what matters. The third thing that stops serving you is winning arguments. Cognitive aging research shows that emotional conflict taxes working memory and increases stress hormones. Many seniors still feel compelled to correct, debate, or convince. The cost is peace. The benefit is almost always zero. The fourth thing that no longer matters is keeping everything the same. There is a belief that stability means safety. But aging studies show that rigid routines increase anxiety when disruptions occur. Flexibility, not control, predicts emotional resilience after 70. The fifth thing that stops mattering is proving independence at all costs. This one is dangerous. American geriatric studies show that seniors who resist help experience higher injury rates and faster health decline. Accepting support is not weakness, it's adaptation. The sixth thing that loses its value is chasing youth. Anti-aging obsession increases dissatisfaction. Surveys show that seniors focused on appearance and youth markers report lower happiness than those focused on function and connection. the body is not failing, it is changing. The seventh thing that no longer matters is holding onto old roles: parent, provider, fixer, leader. When identity is tied only to past roles, loss feels constant. When identity evolves, aging feels lighter. Now let's look at the fallout when people don't let go. Health suffers first. Chronic stress increases inflammation. Sleep worsens. Blood pressure rises. The CDC reports that stress-related conditions are more impactful after 70 than many physical risk factors. Money follows. Stress leads to impulsive spending or fear-based saving. People either overspend to feel alive or underspend out of fear, limiting joy. Lifestyle narrows. Social circles shrink. Curiosity fades. The world feels smaller. So what do people try instead? They try failed fixes based on old advice. They try positive thinking without reducing stressors. They try staying busy to avoid feelings. They try self-help that focuses on doing instead of releasing. None of it addresses the cause. Here's the truth revealed late. Letting go after 70 is not giving up. It's recalibrating to how the nervous system actually works now. American longitudinal studies show that seniors who intentionally reduce stress sources live longer, sleep better, and report higher happiness. This pattern repeats across millions of older adults. Link this to today. People are living longer than ever, but not always lighter. The old rules don't fit the new lifespan. What worked at 40 can quietly hurt at 75. So, what can you do right now? Here are 3 direct actions people over 60 can apply today. First action: identify one stress you carry purely out of habit, not necessity, and release it for 1 week. Notice what improves. Second action: replace one obligation with one restorative activity, not productivity, restoration. Third action: practice saying that no longer works for me without explanation. Research shows boundary setting reduces stress markers in older adults. Here's the clear warning based on evidence. Chronic emotional stress after 70 accelerates physical decline more than inactivity. And here's the open thought to carry into the next video. What if the secret to happiness in old age isn't adding something new, but finally putting something down? If this resonated, tap like so others can find it. Share it with someone who's been carrying too much for too long. Leave a comment about what you're ready to let go of. Subscribe for the next chapter, where we explore why peace, not productivity, predicts longevity after 70.